Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another weekly Geek News episode. This week featuring the Whalers, and I am one half of the Whalers, the crazy contraption, Kirkland Patzer. Who am I joined by?
Hey, I'm the Edmark caster, Dylan Muss.
I guess it's kind of a spoiler if I say like what our team name is. I don't know if people are like catching on to that. Am I the only one that like actually says what our team name is coming into these weekly geeks? Because I did it with Taylor. It's at the Nightingale
I think it's like a
Boys.
50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good.
That's good.
I don't know. Maybe people will catch on. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got some fun things to talk about. Some Marvel stuff, a couple trailers, and just some rumors stuff. And it's gonna be a pretty chill episode, I think.
Should be fun.
But before we get to all that, just a couple of things to plug. What have we been squeezing out of the juice pipeline lately? Review-wise, we're getting very close to 28 years later. I kind of forgot that was out this week, so I still have to get my ticket for that. But
Get your ticket.
Yeah,
Tonight.
is it selling out quick?
No, probably not. But just do it anyway.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there regardless. But the way you said that made me worried for a second, because there's like movies like Superman. Like I bought those tickets like the minute that they dropped, but like 28 years later, like
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll wait and see. Maybe a couple other people want to jump in, and I'm pretty lazy. You know, I don't want to like. Okay, yeah, I'll get your ticket, even though I've already got my ticket, because then I have to have like 2 different QR codes to show like the meter person when I get there. So I just try and min-max it. So it's like, depending on the movie, get it in there. But
I see.
Oh my gosh, side tangent. 28 years later, yeah, that's gonna be coming out. My gosh, what else do we got in the weave? Summer Games Fest, that's all wrapped up now. I think that was last week.
Well unwrapped.
Two weeks ago now. My gosh.
Yeah,
these
and then
days are
this
going by
week we
too
did
quickly.
Mario Kart World review. Talked a little bit more about the
Yes.
Switch 2 impressions. So that was a good discussion. I'm very excited for our next week's episode of Side Quest. Some juicy things on the docket, so that should be fun.
Am I on that one? I
You
haven't looked at
are.
the schedule yet. Okay, thank goodness.
You are.
I've been itching.
It's been a while
I've been
since
itching
we've
for
caught
a
up.
side. Yeah, exactly. I got some things to talk about also. So definitely go check out that that episode next week. We recorded an originals just last night. That's hot on the Patreon, so make sure to go check that out. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about that later on. I feel like I'm missing a lot of plugs. I apologize. I know my mind is kind of spraddled right now, but
Spraddled. New word. I'm on.
One thing that is on my mind though, we're getting pretty darn close to GV Day. It's a couple months away, but like still, it's gonna be coming quick. So make sure to go check that out.
I can smell it in the air.
I can feel it in my bones. I can't smell it yet, but it's like when the rain clouds are coming in. I got like my elbow starting to squeak a little bit. A lot of events planned there, so go check that out. That's I think the second weekend of August. I can't remember what that specific date is. I think I did a decent enough job of a plug. So we're gonna jump right into our main. Well, I don't know if it's the main thing, but what have you been watching lately, Dylan? I'm curious. What you've been perusing. We never also. I just thought of this now. We don't really talk about like what you've been watching on like, because I know you have like certain YouTube channels that you like to follow. If there's like a certain episode that you want to shout out, like that's all applicable, I think.
That's a good point. I should start doing that.
Because you have some like good recommendations. You've sent me some.
That's what I do watch mostly.
My favorite things to watch, my favorite recommendation, I think that you sent me was the power lines in the in the GTA land, and it was blowing my mind.
Yeah, that guy Andy Austin, he just released a new video on some of the weird locations in Cyberpunk, which was great. So yeah, go check out Andy Austin. He's my favorite YouTuber right now. He also has a podcast too, called the GLHF podcast, which is it's not very much about video games. It's just about random stuff. Him and his co-host Mem there are pretty funny, so that's worth checking out.
GLHF, like good luck, have fun.
Yes,
that's awesome.
So you would think it's gamer themed.
Yeah,
but I mean it kind of is. Sometimes they talk about games, but mostly they just talk about random things here or there. But no, I haven't watched a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of the climbing comps are on right now. It's like that season, so I've been just watching through all these climbing comps, which is great. Really in terms of like TV movies, not a lot. I've just been really blasting through the 1994 stuff, trying to get ready for GV Day and trying to make sure I'm on top of that stuff, because it comes up quick, and then it's like, oh man, I gotta watch 15 movies in like a week. That's not ideal. So I've just been putting those on. which is good. But I don't think I'm going to share any of those today. I think I'll just save them for GB Day. The odd one I do like to bring up, but I don't think I needed to bring any up right now. And then, yeah, TV Land, not very much. I watched... So Amber was staying with me last week, and she's been watching Andor. So I watched episodes 4 and 6 from season 2 of Andor, and I've seen no other Andor, but we watched a couple of those.
Remind me what was going on in that specific time frame.
One of them was like a full-on heist. They got some like ultra crates and were throwing them into the sewer.
Nice.
And
That's
then there was one where there's like a girl, and she had like this weird table, and she was like hacking the bottom of the table, and she was like getting this guy to like stand in front of guards so she could like hack the table. That for some reason that sequence took like 20 minutes. I don't know. So it was fine. I obviously don't have the context of season 1 or the other episodes. And then I watched episode 4 and 6, so I didn't even see the episode 5 in there. So a real mess.
Is she enjoying the show overall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Big fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm a little boring this week, but the YouTube, that's a good call out. I'll start writing some of those down, the highlights, and I'll bring more of the YouTube highlights because I do watch more YouTube than TV or movies these days. So yeah.
I feel like I go 50-50. It's like YouTube. I'll rarely. Well, actually, that's a lie. Like probably a quarter of my YouTube viewing is on my TV because I have a smart TV, so I can just one button YouTube. And then like 75%, maybe a little bit more, is on the iPad when I'm cooking. If I'm in a lull on my Dexter watches, I'm just getting annoyed with certain things that are happening. Okay, let's see what's going on in YouTube realm. Let's check out an interview here or there, or just watching podcasts on there sometimes. But and then for me, what I've been watching, I already alluded to it. Dexter. I'm on season 5 now.
Okay.
And it's been fun because I kind of jokingly mentioned that at the start of my Dexter viewing, like my hidden goal was to get Shay just like interested, and then eventually she's asking like, oh, who's that character, like why are they doing that, and then she's on her phone less, she's starting to look at the screen more with certain things that are happening. And I definitely had her on the hook with the Trinity season. In my mind, the best season of Dexter, season 3. Season 3, yeah, season 3.
Season 4.
Yeah, yeah, you're 100% right. Because I'm on season 5. There you go. I'm sprangled, right? That's what I said earlier. My brain's all sprangled. D-Toll, season 5, episode 5, Dexter.
You guys are very in sync with this rewatch right now.
I think I was like a season or 2 ahead of them, like when I was doing my initial view, and I wanted to talk in riddles because I don't want to spoil anything, because there is some major plot, crazy stuff going on. Like D-Toll, were you big surprised at the end of season 4 and how that played out with Rita and just that whole dynamic? Because for me, that's Rita, like one of the biggest shifts in the whole show, honestly. Like, it's just such a major dynamic hit. Like, there's crazy stuff that happens later on in the series, but I feel like that one is like, oh my gosh, like this changes the whole dynamic for just Dexter and his family and everything.
Is season 5? Are we into like Lumen Town at this point? Is that what's going on?
Yes, that's what I was itching my way to. So Travis asked me off cast. He's like, "Oh, how's the season 5 watch going along?" And there you go. Detail Rita stuff is stuck in my head for days. 100%, man. That like, I was in denial when I watched that for the first time. I truly thought, like, I convinced myself that was like a dream or something. Like there's no way that they actually just ended that character. It just felt like so sudden also. But I also remember feeling that like end of season 1 of Game of Thrones. Like, I just had that with shows back in the day. Like, if something like that pissed me off, I just wouldn't watch them for like a really long time.
Right.
I'm past that now, but yeah, no. So yeah, Travis asked me off cast kind of how I was feeling, and I'm like, well, tune into what we've been watching, because that's when I'm going to talk about it.
Wow.
And I just got to the Lumen sequence. He found her. And then now he's starting to interact with her a little bit. So I think I'm episode 4 or 5. So pretty much on the mark with
I'm kind of foggy about the details of that season. Like, I remember the couple of characters, but I don't remember the deets.
Yeah, something I didn't remember was like Agent Quinn. You probably remember that character. I don't know if he's an agent. That seems a little.
Was he introduced in 5? Is that where he?
No, he's introduced in.
I remember he came in later. He wasn't in there. He wasn't in the original
I think it's season
crew.
4 is when he's introduced, like at the very start. And he's just kind of like a minor character for the most part. And then as the seasons go on, of course, he gets more screen time. But no, at the start, he's like on his like kind of investigating the likelihood that Dexter might have been the one to off Rita, because they always say like majority of the time, when the wife dies, it's the husband or something. Like they're just going off of like the detective just playbook, I guess. And I completely forgot about that at all. So like in my mind, it's just like Dokes is the only one that's really after Dexter. Like that was my mindset before I started my rewatch. So there's definitely a lot of little hidden, like in between the major plot points. I think there's a lot of stuff I was fuzzy on. So that's been like really refreshing, I think. And like specifically in last season, Trinity's like daughter character, who's like dating like Detective Quinn at some point. I completely forgot about that character like at all.
Right.
And she like it's really in my mind lazy how they just like shoehorn like that plot point in. But she's short lived. But what did you say? Can already feel a shift in quality, but still some good stuff also. Absolutely. And that's what I was trying to get to was I had Shay for the Trinity season, and she was like fully invested. And then as soon as it ended, she's like, I'm not watching that show anymore. And then I'm like, yeah, well, you kind of saw peak Dexter. I think this is like the start of the decline. I think it just kind of gets, if I remember correctly, I think it's just like straight downhill from here. Like it's not like a roller or anything. Maybe I'm mistaken in that regard. I kind of see a lot of these like back half of the seasons like just really clumped together. Like it's just like, oh, I remember that specific antagonist that Dexter faces, but I can't remember what season it is, and I can't remember if they cross over between other characters like the Lumens of the world. But okay, Travis said season 7 was good, which that is the third last season. Did they go 9 seasons? I don't even remember. I didn't get through season 9.
7's isn't that the last one of this run?
7? I thought they went at least 8 on the original show. But I'll report back when I get there on what you've been watching. Yeah. So now that I'm past the Trinity stuff, it's been like episode. Couple days go by. Ugh, I guess I better watch Dexter. Okay. I'll watch half an episode. A day goes by, finish that episode maybe. So it's been a little bit of a longer watch. I think the Trinity season was the fastest season, or maybe season 2 of me just like powering through it because I was just so hooked. But it's still been a fun rewatch. And of course we got the new show coming out here pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. Forgot to plug that. So there you go. It all worked out. And then what else I've been watching? I haven't talked about it on cast, but I watched Sirens on Netflix. That's the one with Millie Alcock, the lady who was Rhaenyra in the House of the Dragon show, which I'm just realizing you probably didn't watch, Dylan Musk. So yeah, it's a 5-episode series, I guess, on Netflix, and I thought it was all right. I thought Millie was a standout. Julianne Moore, is that her name? Julianne Moore,
red hair.
Redhead,
I don't know if she has
yeah.
red hair anymore, but yeah.
Reddish, but I'm not a fan of her in general. I just don't think I've ever been a fan of that actress.
You better not be saying this on the Big Lebowski retro when we do that.
Okay. Actually, I think that's her best performance by far. My favorite performance by her. So there you go. Good shout out. I do love her accent in that movie is fantastic. Okay, you got me there. So I like that role, but for the most part, I don't know. I just see her as kind of middle tier. I thought she was better than I was expecting. Like I thought I was just gonna be annoyed with the character overall. But no, Millie was really good. But like
Millie
overall,
is the new Superwoman. Superwoman
or Supergirl. Yeah. I think it's Supergirl. But
something like that.
Then there was like a bunch of like Spidey rumor castings around her. I kind of fan cast her as Gwen Stacy, but that's kind of gone down. Or sorry, not Gwen Stacy. Spider Gwen. I guess it's the same character, but different universe. Okay, detail 8. There you go. 8 seasons of Dexter. Confirmed by Detail himself.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I got through Sirens. I thought it was all right, but very visually pleasing show. I think the colors that they have like really quick. It's like rich snobby like parties going on and like high tea fashion. So like people are just like wearing really Easter eggy type outfits, not in like the video game sense of an Easter egg, but like they look like an Easter egg just the way that it's like colored. So a lot of just poppin' visuals. And I'm a visual guy, so I really enjoyed the look of the show. But definitely, I don't know. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. I don't think.
Gotcha.
And then what else been going on? Shay and I subscribed to Crunchyroll again, so been getting big
getting back
into
on
the
that
anime
grind.
realm. Yeah, and we got our Japan trip, of course, coming up, so I think that's part of it. But a big reason was we watched the first season of Apothecary Diaries on Netflix, which I highly recommend. It's a really, really good kind of slice of life show, but it's about basically really quickly this apothecary girl who's just really, really witty and like really, really intelligent. She's just like solving things around the rear palace, because it's all about like ancient Chinese like emperor, so it's like that kind of era. And really, 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 really awesome show. It is just so much fun to watch, and like Sirens, I think it's a really visually pleasing show. Just the colors that they have in it is just really, really beautiful. And yeah, it's got great humor. I wasn't like as into it. It was mostly a Shay show initially, but I'm just hooked. And then only first season was on Netflix, and then we subscribed to Crunchyroll because they had all the seasons on there, and all the seasons, I mean 2 seasons. So we're gonna be sad when it's over, but it's been a fun little watch. And then I started a rewatch of Attack on Titan because I never finished the show, and for a while I'm like, it's been so long. I feel like I just want to start from scratch again. And now it's like finally over. They had a final season, and then they had like a final season part 2 or something, and then I swear they had like a final season movie or something. Like it seemed like a thing that was never truly ending. So I'm excited to eventually get there. But no, I'm about halfway through the first season of that, and like I was saying with my halts on Dexter, that's kind of been my throw-in show. It's just like,
nice.
oh yeah, let's watch some good Attack on Titan. You ever seen that one? I think you've seen like
No.
some animes, but like not really.
Not
It's
that. I've
mostly
not
like
seen that one.
yeah, mostly like the Ghibli movies. Is that like your
I've been watching some Ghibli recently,
Japanese?
but yeah,
animes?
anime is it's a blind spot for me, no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one day it'll grip you. It just takes one show, I think, and then it'll sink your little fangs into it.
Mm-hmm. When Annie Austin stops making YouTube videos,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
jump over to anime.
There you go. And then beyond, no, just things I don't want to talk about because they're.
Are you watching 1994 things yet? You getting into that?
I started with our retros, just because that
Right.
was like, I'm trying to like prioritize my watching because I just feel like with my goldfish brain, if I watch things that are too far out, and then, and then I'll have notes, but I'm like, what does this note mean? I don't know. I don't remember. So I'm trying to pace them well though, because the list is pretty decent. But I mean, as we were just talking about, that time's gonna be coming up pretty quick here. So I should probably splice a couple of those 1994s in between my. I mean, all the shows I was watching.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Are you like almost
Stuff.
on the list?
Oh no, definitely not. Still
Yeah,
a lot more
okay.
to do.
Well, there you
But
go.
I
You
got
made me
time.
a little worried now. Now I gotta pick up the pace. But yeah, I'll make it. If I made it through our what was the last one we did?
2012.
2012. Yeah, fucking the Cloud Atlas movie. That one felt like a 6 movie parter for me.
Yes.
And no one I'm gonna rewatch. Shouts out to Travis Snell. Cool. Well, that's what we've been watching, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna get to our first main topic of the day, and the first main topic of the day is a rumor, but it's a fun rumor to talk about. We got our boy Michael B. Jordan speculatively returning in Avengers Doomsday. That's the first one. I said returning, but I guess it is possible that well, probably likely that it isn't the one that we knew and grew fond
Well,
of from the first film.
he's long gone.
Yeah, exactly. But resurrections happen, right? Loki came back. And he died.
I mean, he came back in BP2 as like a soul in the shadow realm or whatever, right?
I completely forgot about that. It's been a while since I've rewatched that movie. But yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of go first. But Michael B. Jordan, I'm a big fan of his, and I think he's just fantastic. So I definitely wouldn't be deterred by the news by any means. It's a C-tier scooper, so of course it can go either way. But I think that would definitely boost the hype overall, just having him a part of it. I think, especially just people that loved him in that first Black Panther movie, like I think that would be a big draw because a lot of non-MCU fans, I think, just really love that movie, and I think that would just just especially coming off Sinners, like people are just pretty hyped on Michael B. Jordan. I mean, if they're fans of him, they'll be fans of him, but I think he's got really good range of a character of an actor, and I think he can bring that character in different directions. Like, it doesn't just have to be the Killmonger that we saw. I think the rumor also something about like him being the Black Panther, kind of like this version of it. So that would be also a fun avenue to explore. But what do you think about this news?
Yeah, I guess the idea here with this rumor is that he would be featured in like an alternate or like a Multiverse Avengers team that would be in the movie. So I guess that's my biggest question mark is like, goddamn, isn't this movie already jam-packed enough? Like, we have our current Avengers, which we kind of need to establish. Like, we saw names on chairs, but we haven't even seen them like interact with each other. We have the new Avengers / the Thunderbolts. We have F4. We have who else? We have like the whole squad of X-Men people in there as well. So it's like, do we also shove and then we have like villains in Doom's, like Doom and whatever his posse is looking like if he's got multiple people with him. So it's like, I don't know, do we squeeze a whole other multiverse Avengers team in there? And like, are they meaningfully in there? Or are they just like a quick cameo? Or do they just like die off for some reason? Like, I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like if you're going to bring him back and give him that position, like do Black Panther for a movie, I feel like I would want that to be maybe another project where you can actually like really chew on it. But I just feel like this is like such a jam-packed movie that I don't really know how like throwing a whole other team in there is going to work very well. I just feel like this movie is already so dense. So I don't know, but like other than that, I don't really know what the context would be of him like being in this. You know, one of the things we've talked about before is that it seemed like, okay, well, obviously if Downey's coming back and was Iron Man, but now he's Doomsday, or now he's Doom. I keep fucking doing that. And then we have Chris Evans maybe coming back, and he was Captain America. Now he's, I don't know, Captain Hydra or whatever the heck's going on there. I kind of feel like Michael B. Jordan could like fit right in that realm of, but then it's like, well, are you doing like an evil Black Panther as part of the team, or would he be coming back as Killmonger and like be part of this villain team? Because that could be cool, and that could be interesting and fun. But yeah, I think I'm definitely, he's great. He's outstanding. Obviously, we got a little bit of time of him, being Black Panther, I guess, a little bit when he took the throne.
He won fair and square.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think it would be really cool to have him come back, but I wonder if this is maybe not the right project for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know if I need him in there to round out this movie at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you make some great points there with just how dense our character list is already becoming. I could see, like, I think the initial idea that I had from just seeing like the rumor is like maybe it being a tie to the Secret Wars, like him being a catalyst that brings us there to like, oh yeah, I don't know, like you should see my team, join me in Secret War or whatever it might be. But like that's the more good-sided character route, and I think my mind just goes there because we've already seen him play the villain, so of course naturally it'd be fun to see the other side. But I mean what you listed out there with like evil Captain America, like if he's a part, like man, that would be a pretty fun evil gang also. And then like he could basically be like the what if like T'Challa actually never like conquered him afterwards, like Killmonger was just Black Panther, and and like this is the reality of his universe. So I think that's also a fun idea, and honestly I think I like that better because Doom, I'm expecting, I almost said Doomsday, actually I had to stop myself there. But Doom is already such a powerhouse, but I also am kind of worried that it might feel like just another Thanos in the sense of like this is the one big bad that all of these heroes are trying to take down. So of course if we can have a little bit more of a team on his side, it makes it a little bit more interesting. So especially like some of the big names that we listed with the Evans and whatever that other just dynamic might be, whatever the Killmonger thing would be.
What do you think about the possibility of there just being a whole other multiverse Avengers team that appears in this movie alongside like the four factions we already have plus villains? Yeah,
like with how you broke it down, it seems so unlikely with just price tags of actors and stuff like that.
Sure.
And, I feel like in my mind I always had it too of like, okay, this is gonna be pretty much the roster that we saw with like the chairs, like that reveal, and then maybe a couple extras, but like not a full team extras. Like that just seems like too far of a jump. That's why I was saying like maybe if this is Eric Killmonger's Black Panther and he is a good guy, instead of having him and a whole team around him, I think just having him is like a really big add to an already populated list. So then maybe if there is more, that would be leading into Secret Wars, just because in my mind that has 1,000 character roster with the potential just appearances that it could have. So yeah, like if I had to choose, honestly, I probably wouldn't want the whole Avengers roster just because it would take us away from just the members that are already here, and it might just feel like because we have too much, we don't have any like depth with any of those characters. It seems like they're all side characters, and I think things like Infinity War, Endgame, they actually do a pretty good job at having time, even though it is such a big roster. Like you know, there's great Nebula moments, there's great Rhodey moments, like in those little splices of like, okay, it's like Downey is the one doing the big sacrifice, then Evans in the second movie. Like those are the big heads, but like I still think they do a good job at spending time with the whole roster to make it feel like everyone kind of is important. And if we just are doubling like the team sizes, it just, maybe they can pull it off again, but it just seems like a daunting task, and one that I would be a little bit more I think concerned with just how clean the execution could be.
Do you think that they maybe like would the concept potentially be here almost like the opposite of what we're having with like, okay, Iron Man or like Evans and Downey coming back were heroes, now they're playing villains? Is the idea with this Multiverse Avengers team that it's like the opposite, where it's like people who did play villains come back in this multiverse format to play like heroes now? So you get B. Jordan as Black Panther. Who else would you get? I guess you get like Corey Stoll come back. He could be like Ant-Man, Yellow Jacket, or something. He could be like he could be like a good Ant-Man.
MODOK, that guy.
Yeah, no, not MODOK. Right? I'm saying he would be like.
I guess he was a
Ant-Man
good guy. He died in Avenger.
Yeah. I don't know who else would be.
I went Hela, honestly. I think that, but like
Hela, or even just Loki, just like because is Tom Hiddleston on the chairs?
No, yeah.
We need a guy in the chair. Is
I
Tom
said
Hiddleston
no
on a chair?
instantly, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I just feel like we've talked so much about it. It seems like he'll definitely be back, but I forget if he was on that freaking chair. Because I think that, like, just, you know, I guess it would be Loki. You'd still have him as Loki, but he'd just be like a good Loki now. That could be interesting.
Why is it not telling me? Yes, he is. Yes.
He is.
Yes,
there you go. Yes. Right. So, yeah, like maybe that's the way he's integrated into the movie. And that would make like, I don't know. I just feel like there would be a lot of explaining to do, like him leaving his like multiversal throne and like coming to join this. But like, yeah, maybe that's just what it is. Maybe it's just like some alternate timeline version of Loki, and that's who he's playing here. And I don't know who else you'd throw in there, but obviously there's like, as you mentioned earlier, like there's a million people you could bring back. You could do something goofy like get Terrence Howard back as like, you know, he could be like a war machine on this Avengers team. Like there's so many ways you could do it, but I think it would be fun if you got like a little crew of people who played villains before and said have them play not necessarily the same like Killmonger to Black Panther transition, but even just like they played a villain and now they're playing like a good version of the character, or like I don't know, I guess good enough to be on an Avengers team, I suppose.
I want to see the good Jebediah staying, you know, get Jeff Bridges in there.
Yeah. would he be Iron Man, do you think? Yeah. Like he'd be the new Iron Man in this timeline?
Yeah. I mean, that's really fun because, yeah, I mean, we're going to talk, that was in the notes of like, who else would you want to be throwing on there? And my mind instantly just went to villains, like just villains that were like one-offs, or, I mean, someone that's kind of in limbo, like they are still around, is like Baron, not Baron, my gosh.
Zemo.
Yeah, Baron Zemo. There you go. I almost said Baron
true.
Mordo.
He's just pounding around. Who knows where he is?
And I want more of him because I really love that character.
But he wouldn't really be. You think he'd come back as like a multiversal version, than like rather than like the one who's in 616, but is just MIA?
It's more likely, I think, the 616 one, but like in my mind, like, fuck yeah, let's get a different one. Just
I guess you could bring him back and like have him like do like the full Zemo look rather than like the kind of just human that he's looked like in the things he's been in this universe. You could get
100%.
more comic
it's
booky
like
with it.
it's like how, in the Ultimate Spider-Man they have like Ultimate Goblin, who's just like a Hulk like being. It's just like a creature. Like, let's get weird with it. I think it's as we go down that route, it's like a pie chart where it's just like gets more and more unlikely. I think the crazier that we go with that. But it's still fun. But no,
you know what we could do that would immediately win you a pizza bet would be to bring Red Hulk back, but he is just like the good Hulk on the Avengers, this Multiverse Avengers team.
Do you get Harrison Ford in there on this big Avenger?
I mean, you get CGI Harrison Ford, and you pay him some amount, but maybe less than him having to actually show up.
Yeah.
Maybe you get some voice actor to do it for him. You get Troy Baker to pretend he's Harrison Ford again.
I mean, yeah, that's also fun. But yeah, as I was saying, like the first one that came to mind was Hela. I think it's pretty unlikely just because it's a god tier character. But I mean, we have gods in this universe, and
she could be weaker in this universe. I forget where her power comes from. It doesn't really come from a weapon necessarily, right? Like she just kind of has innate power.
Yeah,
you could depower her, I suppose.
Yeah, like it's like going to the power of the dark side, right? It's stronger, but
Scarlet Witch as well. Like who knows where she is, if she's still buried in that rubble. But like just bring her in as a multiverse version and have her be part of the Avengers. Yeah, cool. I'm down for that.
I personally think that's the most likely route because I think we will see Scarlet Witch again, but I don't know why I'm just in this pizza bet realm, but I'm like tempted to do a pizza bet that like she actually did die like in that. Like that is the canon version, and the next time we see her is a different variant. But
I mean, that could be true, but that doesn't necessarily confirm that she's full on dead. She could still come back as her actual self, right?
Yeah, 100%. And then I feel like you need like a time frame on that type of death. Like, do they actually confirm? Is there a character that says that?
Yeah.
Well, somehow Scarlet Witch came back, even though she got legitimately murdered. We buried her body. Her body did get buried.
What do you think the odds are that they would have another Spider-Man on that Avengers team?
Like another Tom Holland or another just...
No, Tom Holland's busy. We know that. He's not in this movie. Unless they're
Toby
lying.
Or like what do you mean no Spider-Man? Like just different
Toby,
actor?
Garfield, or someone else?
Miles Morales?
Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir or something?
Just any Spider-Man, any different Spider-Man.
Yeah, I just like would they have a Spider-Man on that roster?
My initial instincts say hard no, like F no, like there's absolutely no way that's happening. But I mean, that would get the crowd going, honestly. If there's a spider character that comes in, even if it's like it could come in just in the suit, and then it's a Spidey being like his Spidey quirky just voice, and like you wouldn't really think anything differently, and mask comes off or something completely different character. I think that would get a lot of crazy theater reaction. So it is a fun thought. So I feel like my heart is like trying to itch me over to like the more middle ground, but no, I'm gonna stick to my head and say hard no on the Doomsday.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah,
but
I'd probably stand up and cheer if it actually happened, and I will instantly be thinking of you and how you predicted that.
Well, you're gonna stand up and block someone's view in the theater?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and be like, my friend Dylan told me about this.
I just want a pizza.
I owe him a pizza. No, that's a fun one. Yeah, geez, who else? Hobgoblin, Ned. Are we gonna get that?
The Gob, definitely not Ned, but yeah, give me a goblin for sure.
That's
give
just a meme, though, right?
Actually, do I want a good goblin? I think I just want evil goblins. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this could be like an evil Avengers team. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Different vision.
We already have 2 visions, and that's far too many.
We get like just orange vision, or I guess he kind of was orange.
We have vision. We have snow
red.
Vision.
Yeah.
You could get like ice
forest.
vision. I don't know.
He's just
forest
camo.
vision. Yeah. Desert vision.
The one vision. Yeah. No. I don't like that. The more we talked about it, honestly. Keep vision away.
Yeah.
They don't even know what they're doing with vision.
Mm-hmm.
Any evil guardians or anything like that?
On an Avengers
Groot?
team?
Evil.
No.
Evil Rocket.
So.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think that would be a small team. I think.
Yeah.
4 characters maximum.
Yeah. Does that mean they're like really strong though? Because then the power divide, it's not like spread over like 18 characters, just like 4 mean Mamba Jambas ready to crack some necks.
I don't know. I mean, like, I guess there's already kind of an imbalance between some of the teams that we have. Like, Fantastic Four's coming to this as their own little faction, and they only have 4 people.
That's true.
And one of them's a rock, so, I mean, they're pretty weak compared to some of these other teams.
I got a rock. It's clobbering time, though.
Yeah.
Cool. I have nothing more to throw at this. Fun ideas. I mean, getting back to Michael B. Jordan, yeah, I hope that is something that evolves into it being true. I think that's just is a performance that deserves to have another go. Not in the sense of like redoing what they did or like carrying on that story, but just like having like a new version of that character. I think is super fun. So hopefully this comes out.
Cool.
Well, I kind of forgot to take our first ad break, so we're gonna go to that right now.
Okay.
And as we go to it, I am going to bring up the great and powerful Patreon, because that is the single greatest way to support us. You get everything early, exclusive, ad-free. Earlier on, I was shouting out our Originals episode. We do our monthly exclusive Patreon shows. We also do our After Nines, which is a call-in show at our Tier 2 level. That was a weird way to say it. Tier 2 tier or higher. You can
Phase
join
2.
in. Thank you. Phase 2. Or higher. You can come in, chat with us. We do them sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening to coincide with whoever might be in different areas of the world, because there is lots of you out there. And biggest shout out to our Patreon producers, the highest phase, Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Super Bad Mike, The Good God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Randall, and Cocktail Clay. Thank you so much to each and every one of you.
Do you think Jeremy Renner's ever going to pop in one of the After Nines, or is he just a lurker?
I feel like he's been busy lately. Yeah, he's been ghosting us. Like, keep reaching out, like, hey, you coming in this month? But no, not even read or anything. Probably the wrong number.
Maybe,
but yeah, hopefully. I would have plenty of questions for him. And none of them related to Hawkeye character, I'm sure. Maybe 1 or 2. All right, we're going to the actual ad break now. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was a fun Marvel topic. And we got more Marvel rumors to break down here.
Hell yeah, we do.
I mean, we got a couple on here. Is there anything that like stood out to you, that gripped you? No?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely quite intrigued by this, I guess, supposed rumor that Marvel might be developing an Annihilators film, because I'd never heard of this particular team, but did a little punching on the keyboard there, finding out a little bit about this team. So Annihilators is, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who also don't know what's going on here. This is a newer-ish team. It was first formed in 2011, although it's consistent of a bunch of like old legacy characters. So the members I'm seeing here are Kaisar, Silver Surfer, Ronan the Accuser, Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, Icon/Space Knight, and Cosmo. So really weird ragtag crew, and it kind of seems like, okay, this feels like a Guardians of the Galaxy 2.0. And Guardians became huge. They were no names. These are probably, some of these are more names, and a lot of them are established characters in the MCU 616 already. But yeah, it feels like you guys are going to go for that kind of idea again. Now maybe there's a completely different vibe to this team. I'm not too sure, because I haven't actually like read the stories or anything like that. But it'd be interesting, because I also feel like right now we kind of had our space phase where we did a lot of things out in space, but now like our Guardians seem to be maybe not sunsetted permanently, but they're definitely on the bench. None of them on the chair. Even Chris Pratt, who's like on Earth right now. So we know they're out there, but and even like Captain Marvel and stuff, like it doesn't seem like she's going to space. Like Brie Larson, she wasn't even on a chair, was she? Or is she a chair user?
Fuck, I'll pull up that same thing.
So I feel like moral of the story is that like we're not really doing much space stuff right now, and maybe we'll go there in these new Avengers movies. But it seems like, if anything, that would be like we're going up there. I guess Fantastic Four is kind of going to space and then coming back as well. But in terms of like just going across endless galaxies and things like that with the way Guardians of the Galaxy did, it feels like we're kind of away from that right now. So I don't know. Like this could be some early development. Maybe they're going to pump this out in the future. I think this could be a really interesting way to maybe you do a Guardians versus Annihilators movie or something like that, and that could be a way that you could tie some of these together. And obviously with Ronan being on the list, obviously he's bumped in with the Guardians all the way back in the first movie, so that'd be kind of an interesting full circle moment. But yeah, once again, looking at that team, Ronan's out there right now just chilling. I think he's not dead, right? He's just like cruising around somewhere.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to him actually.
Does he die at the end of Guardians? It's been so long since I watched that movie.
I don't think so, because like
maybe, I guess he's
Peter
alive,
Quill
but he doesn't
gets
have
the
a
Power
stone
Stone.
anymore. Is that the idea, right?
Yeah, because Peter Quill beats him in the dance off, gets the Power
The dance
Stone,
off for
and
the
then
galaxy, yeah.
he just faded from my brain. So maybe he just got snapped out of existence. Who knows?
Yeah, and then Cosmo is currently on the Guardians, so I don't know if
Yeah.
that would be some sort of bridge between these. Silver Surfer not introduced yet, but will be very shortly in Fantastic Four. So that's kind of like half the team there. And then the other ones, Kaiser I think is like a really old school character that I've always thought was pretty cool. Beta Ray Bill I feel like is one that's been rumored a few times. Gladiator I don't think has ever come up before, but that, Shuz Marvel Snap is a great card in there. And then Icon/Space Knight is one I've never heard of. That's a completely fresh character for me. So this does seem like, in the Guardians sort of way, like a bit of like a mixture of some freaks mostly. So I don't know. It does seem kind of old school. I was kind of surprised to see this was a 2011 team, like a newer-ish team, because it feels kind of old when I read the names on there. But I don't know. I guess if this is true, it makes me so curious what the direction of the MCU is going to look like after these next Avengers movies come out, and like what we're going to be doing with the phases after that. Because this seems like a real curveball and also kind of a big risk right now, based off like kind of things they've done recently. But maybe they say, hey, Guardians, all three of those movies were big successes. Maybe we don't want to continue that without James Gunn. Let's instead kind of pivot. We can get another space team, which gives us a lot of potential, using a couple legacy characters. Put these ones in here. You could also slap in some other characters that aren't on this list I just mentioned. Those are just like kind of the known ones. But yeah, I'm quite intrigued by this, if this does end up being true.
Yeah, 100%. It definitely fills that void of the Guardians being. I guess we still have a Guardians team, but I think it's gonna be a little while till we
yeah, they're
see,
all
like,
still
another
alive. They're just scattered. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Plus their creator's gone now with James Gunn. He's jump shipped over to DC land, right? So I think this is really, really intriguing. Really, really fun list, honestly. Especially like Silver Surfer, one of my favorite comic book characters like ever. Like absolutely, I want more content of that character. Beta Ray Bill, I feel like is just such like an inevitability. Like I feel like it's eventually we're gonna see a live action Beta Ray Bill. It just seems like, as you said, like it's been rumored many times, and it's just like, even if people don't really know that character, they like, see it and it just kind of sticks in your brain. Like I remember like seeing that character probably in Ultimate Alliance. Like I think it was like a skin or something. I can't remember if it was an actual character, but just really like stuck in my head. Like just an interesting looking character. So I think that would be a really, really fun just pair up with everyone else that you listed, and also just having a spot for Captain Marvel, because she's just kind of been in a very strange spot ever since the Marvels movie. I feel like after the first movie and her first appearance in what was it? I guess it was her movie, and then Endgame. It just seemed like a character that we were going to be just squeezing a lot of juice out of like content. Like, man, we're going to be seeing this character a lot, and obviously Marvels didn't perform well at all, and it's just been on the back burner. I feel like the simmer's not even on. It's a cold pot right now. That water is ice cold.
That's true.
So, and then just, of course, her power level seems like it would be on par with a lot of these characters. And fuck yeah, let's get Gladiator in there. I think Gladiator appeared in like a random X-Men, because
he was in a few of that, like the Shi'ar storyline stuff. He was in a few episodes.
Yeah. So I mean, we're getting closer to mutants. Maybe that'll be a tie one day. But no, I think it's really, really fun idea, and I mean, I just see it being similar to Guardians, but like in my mind, that's not a negative at all. Like I just think like if they get their own, like whether it's a movie or a series or something, I'd want a movie for sure over a series, but I think it would just have to be like something like completely in space, like how the Guardians movies did, and just its own thing. And then of course for collabs, you could have all the characters or one or two like pop in here and there, just to interact with the rest of our crew.
Yeah. And then I think I saw when I was Googling that earlier that like Nova, maybe not, I don't know if Nova's been on the team, but Nova's kind of in that realm, and Nova has been a character that has been talked about a lot, rumored like a Nova project. I forget if that's canceled or where that's at right now. Maybe that Nova thing is this, and maybe Nova could be in something like this. But also the list I'm seeing doesn't show that Nova's like actually on the team, so I don't know how accurate that would be. But I think they can always make some adjustments. Like another one that I'd love to see is, I obviously I love all of our Guardians. It'd be cool for them to persevere in some way, but they've also all had a pretty great story and like several movies, and you even throw a special in there to like have their story. I think Adam Warlock though is a character that I really want to see more of, and he would also fit perfectly on this team. Like maybe even like sub out Kaisar for Adam Warlock in the group, because they kind of have a similar look to them as well. If I'm not too incorrect there. So I think he'd be a fun one to put in there because I really want him back. Want to give him another chance, and I think it could be cool. Just like this would be a weird kind of, I don't know, connection of characters to get like, the Silver Surfer in there mixed with these kind of Guardians characters, and then some new people as well. So yeah, I think it'd be really cool.
Even Ronan, honestly. I feel like
in Ronan as well, yeah.
I want to see like a good Ronan, the Accuser. I feel like just really sick name, cool look, but like just such a bitch. Like just gets his ass handed to him, and in all the properties that I've seen him in. I had a little Marvel Snap deck around Ronan just because I was really wanting to support the Accuser himself. But it's I guess he's kind of good in Ultimate Alliance 3. Does he make an appearance? I feel like he's a villain.
He's a boss in there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it's really fun. And then Cosmo, it's interesting with Cosmo because it's just such a unique character that like I want to see more of them, but like I also feel like maybe too much it might be too much, and then like really, I don't know. I don't even know why I think that. It's just such a niche character. But I mean, a lot of these individuals on this list are kind of goofballs. Fit.
I feel like because Ronan's a character that I don't really, even though he was in Guardians, I don't really associate him with that James Gunnian humor set. Like I could see him on a new team with a new writer being well off, but I feel like Cosmo and what we got with that character so far feels very James Gunn. And so I would be curious to see if it would just feel like, okay, we're just trying to get back to that style of humor, but it's not really working out. Or, if they could pull it off, but, or if they give the character more emotional depth, because, even like Rocket started out as, had like some emotional backstory stuff, but it wasn't until like later on in the Guardians movies and even Avengers and stuff, when we really got attached to that character and what they're able to do with the CGI character and the emotion. And so obviously they could do that with Cosmo too. Give it some time, and maybe just like inherently this project would obviously not be written and directed by James Gunn, and so you'd get a different take on these Guardians characters, even if we have seen them before. And I think for a lot of people, they didn't like the humor with Adam Warlock. So if you did bring him in this team, it would be different. It would obviously have to be different because you don't have the same people writing the script and behind the director's chair at this point, or in the director's chair at this point.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else on the Annihilators? Cool name, also.
It's an all right name.
Yeah, not the biggest fan. Do you like Guardians of the Galaxy better?
I think I do, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't feel that way back in the day. But I feel like Annihilators feels a little cheese ball.
Yeah,
a little goofy.
But Guardians of the Galaxy also did. Like I definitely thought that was lame. I was a notorious hater of the first movie for a while. Yeah, I was like, very so overrated. Notorious. Probably watched it like half asleep, like dozing in and out. Woke up, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Ronan the Accuser? What a bitch! Hate this character. But I mean, I came full circle. But anyways, moving on. Let's go to Hercules next. Hercules Spin Off. Do you remember this character at all?
Yeah, the great Brett Goldstein, who appears in the post credit of Thor: Love and Thunder.
Attaboy. That's
and
bonus points.
He's been sleeping in a coffin ever since. So, but maybe he's gonna rise from the dead here. Maybe he doesn't die in the movie, to be clear. He just hasn't. He barely existed, and then he hasn't existed.
Maybe he's on an adventure right now, and maybe the spin-off series will be covering what he's been doing. Who knows? And I say it's series, misspoke. It's just spin-off is what I got. In my mind, I think it would be a series because if you just come out with a full Hercules movie, I just feel like that is the most randomest thing ever. Especially just where we are in the phases. Like, does this mean he's gonna have like an Avengers tie or something, or like is this just something completely separate? To show my hand, I want this to happen. I just really love Brett Goldstein from what I've seen him in Ted Lasso. Yeah, kind of a wild take, but like I do want to see this happen, and I do want it to be like just its own thing, like just a Marvel character of Hercules with Brett Goldstein. Now I want it. Likelihood of it happening, I think, is another conversation. I think it's pretty low. Like number rating on want would be 8, and number rating on believability of it happening 3.25.
So you're thinking, but you're pegging this though as a Disney Plus series.
Disney Plus series.
6 episodes.
Yes.
Get in, get out.
The more we talk about it, I'm like, there's no way they're greenlighting this. But
right, I just feel like with all these shows recently, it's been kind of dodgy territory. We haven't really got confirmation of new shows recently. Feels like we're even talking about like Ironheart. They're putting it out in such a weird way that it feels like they're just trying to sweep it under the rug. And it feels like, would they greenlight this right now? And I feel like Brett Goldstein is, he's becoming a bigger deal on TV. Ted Lasso is a big deal. And then he was also in Shrinking. I don't know if that's like a big show or anything, or moves the numbers, moves the needle, I should say.
I think he's coming back for the new Ted Lasso show as well.
Is he? I thought it was like only, what's his face? Ted, and then like a new People in America.
You keep going. I'll double
check that. I mean, I could be wrong. But yeah, like, I don't know. It just feels like a lot of eggs to put in that basket, which is a little unproven. And I mean, to be honest, this is not my realm of Marvel. Like, I'm not a big Asgard and Friends fan. Like, I like some of the humor of the Taika stuff, but like, I feel like I'm not really a big fan of like the Asgard characters and things for the most part. And so this doesn't, not that Hercules is from Asgard. I don't know where the heck he's from. This is not my realm, so it's hard for me to speculate on this one. I just don't really see it at all. Like, this feels like a really weird thing to get confirmed in this kind of uncertain era. Like, maybe you get a special, but it doesn't seem like they're doing those anymore. I think Hercules, of course, would come back in the next Thor, but I just feel like, to me, this is a bad idea. They shouldn't do it, and I don't want it either. But definitely bring them back in Thor. What are we at? 5? We're at 5, right? That would be the next Thor.
1, 2, Dark World. My gosh, that adds up quick. Yeah, 5.
That's crazy. But yeah, definitely bring him back for 5. But yeah, I don't want the solo thing. I don't think it'll be successful. Who greenlights that? I'm not sure.
It says writer, producer, and actor Brett Goldstein has confirmed he is involved with the hotly anticipated season 4 of Ted Lasso. Now, of course, if he's a producer or writer, that might not mean the character is necessarily in there.
Fair.
Which means he could play Hercules, but I mean, as we just listed out there, I just 100%, especially just following the trend of the latest Ironheart news. It just seems like they have less faith, I think, in, or maybe faith is the wrong word, because I think that's like obvious. I think it's like less like financial reasoning to want to do that. I just, I don't know. It just seems like a wild card there, but I don't know. I like Brett Goldstein. I want to see him in more things because he's fantastic. Cool. He's on a podcast too. I don't know if it's his podcast, but a friend of mine showed me a couple clips, and it's funny how different of a character he is from Roy Kent in the show. So like I'd only seen him in the show, and then like going to him just talking like a normal bloke. I thought he was fantastic, but no, interesting guy for sure. Nice. Anything else on the Herc?
No.
What is our last one here? Our last one, is a Marvel X-Men character, the Dazzler, who I think I put a draft, can't remember what draft it was, but I was like, man, Taylor Swift is eventually going to be the Dazzler. I was so sure about it. Completely wrong. I do not think she's ever going to be the Dazzler, but the new rumor is that we have another pop star. What do you mean, whoa? What do you whoa? What are you whoaing me for?
You just think it's never going to happen at this point?
Taylor Swift is the Dazzler?
Yeah.
I think so. I think I think it's very, very unlikely, just because I feel like she just doesn't want to do it, and also like I don't think she would be like very cheap, but like I'm not saying she's going to be like an A-list tier actor price, but like still it's Taylor Swift making an appearance. Like I feel like her time is worth a lot of money, so to like be doing an actual character doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. So yeah, I think I would say hard no.
She's out, Norman.
I'm scared to pizza bet it because I feel like
I'm not pizza betting.
I know.
No.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
figures, just for the sake of
Trying to get some
arguments.
fucking pizza.
That's how we gauge, how hard investment I am on it. I wouldn't go full pizza bet, because I think it could just be like a random cameo one time, which could be fun. But no, I don't. For the Dazzler, at least, I think that chicken is croaked or whatever the saying is. I don't
Chicken's
think that is the saying, but it's croaked. But no, we got a new pop star, the short and sweet pop star of Sabrina Carpenter, who there's an interesting poll going on right now in our GV Discord. I forgot to shout out. So go join the GV Discord and give your thoughts. You have probably 20 hours left on that poll. So
20 hours? Do you think it's a long one, hey?
Well, it said 24 hours when I looked at it initially. And I
you're right. 21 hours left. 9 votes. Hours. Do you want a current update or do you want to save it? Have you voted? I assume you voted.
I wasn't, because I don't even know if I can be saying this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyways because Travis and I were just poking.
You haven't voted
other.
yet.
And I said, because he famously, Sabrina Carpenter, I have voted, and I voted Sabrina Carpenter. That shows my hand. But no, Travis notoriously says Sabrina Carpenter's music is not good. And take it for what it is. It's probably true. I think it's catchy, and that's what pop music is. So it's not very original in that sense.
What's her number one song again, or her top 3 songs again?
Espresso is probably the number one.
Sing a bar, that one, without copyright. Don't sing it well enough that we get copyright. Think about me every night. Oh, okay. What else?
I don't know that one.
I don't think so.
Threw me off because Shay walked in my office when I started singing, and then she was just stared at me, and I was like, "Oh, this is awkward now."
Does she know any? Get her to sing a bar.
Oh, absolutely. No, she Espresso. Please, please, please. I feel like that was a big radio
sing
hit
a bar
for a while. Please, please, please. Don't prove
I can see
right.
hearing a song that sounds
which
like
is all about Barry Keoghan and please don't break my heart and cheat on me, and then of course he went and did that, so shouts out to Barry Keoghan.
Whoa, Barry. You're shouting him out for cheating on you?
I'm just name dropping, so shout out whoever I name drop.
Okay.
Teach their own. But and then in terms of what her next big one is, it would probably be the new song that just came out, Man Child. I feel like which again is about Barry Keoghan.
And get another Barry song.
Yeah, man.
What is going on with those two?
It ruined her world.
Are they dating? Are they together?
He cheated on her and they broke up, and it was a scandal. So,
but she's still writing. She's still talking about it. Okay.
It's content, man. Come on, she's profiting off of it.
Okay.
Come on now. I don't know how we got it here. Oh yeah, we're poll dropping. So then Travis said that, which just to poke fun. I'm like, well, Dua Lipa's not good, or I said something like that, and then of course just struck a nerve with him, and then he private messaged Taylor hey, make a notorious poll on the GV Discord, don't tell anyone, because he doesn't want to get biases involved. I'm making biases involved right now because he voted on this poll, which is okay, I guess you're allowed to, but it just seemed odd that he did that. So I was a little bit
voted
hurt,
too. I mean,
I saw you vote on there. So and then he's like,
you saw me vote.
Well, yeah, because Travis was live reporting, essentially, and then he's like, oh, Do was in the lead with 2 votes. He failed to mention that it was you and him were the 2 votes.
How can you see who voted?
Okay,
I thought I'm anonymous over here.
Oh, no anonymity in the GV Discord realm. You can just click on the on who's on there, and it'll show you the names.
You can. I didn't ever realize you could do that on polls.
You didn't know you could do that for any of the polls? We have lots of polls going on in the GV Discord.
I know. I got to watch what I've been voting for.
Yeah.
Might be outing myself.
Very political things. You think it's all anonymous. How did I get there? GV Disco. Oh yes. So
Sabrina Carpenter,
the Dazzler, the Dazzler, who is basically a pop star of a mutant. So in my mind, I thought Taylor Swift would be so fun because she's the hottest pop star around. Sabrina Carpenter is, she's pretty popular, and I think she's
quite popular.
She's also an actress. I think she was a Disney star as a kid, so she's got the acting chops. I think she would be a better actress than Taylor Swift, anyways. So I
watched her Netflix Christmas special last year, which was music and skits.
Yep.
So I saw her do some acting there. Funny, charisma.
Sorry. Travis just messaged. He's like, "You fuckers, you talking about the?" He's watching us right now. Anyways, sorry. Carry on. Christmas special.
He's always watching.
That you recommended me, and I still haven't watched, so I'll have to wait till next Christmas now to
wait till next. Yeah.
There's some big names on there, right? Chapel Roan made an appearance.
Yep.
You know who
Maybe
that
she
is,
could be
right?
Dazzler instead.
She probably could. I believe she could be an actress. I think she's one of the most talented.
Is Sabrina Carpenter your
females
number one
alive.
pick for Dazzler if we're going pop star realm?
Ooh.
Or do you want Taylor Swift more? You just don't think it's going to happen?
If it's like a very minor cameo, I would want Taylor Swift more. If it's like someone like gonna be a role, not necessarily for like multiple projects, but just like a character in a single project for like a decent amount of time, I would prefer Sabrina Carpenter. I think out of those two, but like I'm also failing to like.
I mean, I think it's going to be a
pick a
cameo,
random
right? It's
person.
going to be a 5-minute scene, never see him again kind of
Yeah.
thing. I think no matter what.
You think so?
what's happening.
Never see them.
Oh
again?
yeah, 100%. You think Sabrina Carpenter's going to be on the X-Men roster for the next 10
you're
years?
right. No, you're
Yeah.
right.
She's
Yeah.
busy. She's busy writing songs about Barry Keoghan.
Yeah. I hope I got that fact right. I didn't follow like the actual news well, so apologies to Barry or Sabrina or whoever I offended. But yeah, I mean, if you're truly asking me what my want would be, I think still Sabrina. Honestly, I just think she would be a better actress, and I have no like things to pull from. I saw Taylor Swift act once in a New Girl episode, which I thought was fun, but she's not really playing herself, but like kinda.
Was she playing a Dazzler-like character?
No. Oh no. No. Get this guy.
I don't even know what
And we're
Mike's
echoing
using
right
He's
right
on
now.
the fucking porch.
Hang on, because I'm listening on a 2-minute delay. But this guy is lying when he's talking about your guys' poll. He's like, "Oh yeah, Travis is telling me that Dylan voted. I didn't start the poll. I can't even see that. That's all Taylor, and it was not a private message. It was on the GV3 that we have in Facebook. Because I said, hey, I don't want to like have anyone thinking like I start the poll because they know I like Dua Lipa. Taylor, you do it. And then Taylor created the poll and he said at Travis's request. I deleted that because that defeats the purpose. And I said nothing. I have receipts where Taylor's like, oh, Dylan and Travis voted for Dua Lipa. It says I did no update whatsoever. And I have a message where Kirkland's like, oh, I'm not going to vote. Won't need to. But on air, he admitted to you that he voted.
We're falling behind. They needed my votes. We're falling behind.
Yeah, you're so behind. Anyways, that's...
Good to see you,
Bye.
Travis. The charged.
He was charged, all right. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think Sabrina Carpenter's acted a bunch. Seems like so cool. I'm down to get her in. She's funny. She's charismatic. I think it'll be a small cameo role. I think she's a good fit. I think she would do it. I don't know anything about her clearly. Like obviously, don't know anything about her personal life or dating life. But in terms of what I've seen, it seems like she's a goofy person. She likes silly things, and I don't know. She's like. I feel like a part of her is like her appearance and like how she's perceived, and I feel like this would be like a net positive for her brand to be just like, hey, I was this like cool X-Men character for like 5 minutes, and then the memes, you know, TikTok's gonna be just blowing up with all these like shots. You know, the TikTok kids are gonna wake up and go to the theater finally for the first time. Marvel's tanked, but they'll go see anything for 5 minutes of Sabrina Carpenter being Dazzler. So I mean, I think that would ignite the box office. You know, Marvel slips a nice check under her door. Like everyone wins, I think. So I think it's a good idea, and I think they should do it. And I'm down for it.
And we'd be getting like a new song.
But I still voted for
in the
Dua Lipa.
credits.
That's not what this. That's kind of different than what we're talking about here. But
yeah. Do you know like 3 Dua Lipa songs?
I could not name them, but why I like Dua Lipa is because there's been multiple times in my life where I've been like at the climbing gym, where there's been music on, and I'm like, oh, who? This is a nice song. Who is this? And so I'm like, oh, this is Dua Lipa. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that's what she sounded like, but it's a good song. I'm sure I've heard some Sabrina songs. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I couldn't even think of the Dua Lipa ones, but I just through a completely unbiased format, I know that I've liked her songs. So
it's good.
That's why I voted for Dua Lipa. But I'm not very invested in this race, to be honest. Get Dua Lipa in there as Dazzler if Sabrina drops through. That's my recommendation.
Oh no.
Or what's her name? Charlie, and then
XCX.
some letters. Yeah, she was on SNL. She was very funny. So get her in there. I'm down for that.
No, not as the Dazzler.
No.
Not as the Dazzler. No, she would be like. I don't know much about her at all. I just see her as like anti-Dazzler. Like what's anti-Dazzling? Like dark, just the void.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She's gonna play the Void, the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Yes. CGI character. You don't see her at all. You don't even know it's
She
her.
only plays the Void, doesn't play Bob, just the Void. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no, I listen to some of her music. I feel like a lot of her scene is like just rave, like
Okay,
party
I actually
stuff.
don't know her music at all. I just saw her on SNL
Okay.
and thought she was funny on there.
Nice, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I saw her do Chicken Shop Date, and she was funny on there. So shouts out to Chicken Shop Date and Charlie XCX. But I don't even know how to recover this. Where were we? Oh, yeah, Dazzler, Sabrina Carpenter. I guess that's kind of it. We kind of gave our thoughts.
That's pretty much all there is to it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I completely agree with you though. Of like, if it worked out for her scheduling or whatever, like I think she would be down to do it, and I think we'd be getting like, I don't know if like a song for the movie, but like definitely like an end, like the credits sang by Sabrina Carpenter, 100%.
About
like
Barry?
It's gonna be, yeah. The villain.
No,
is
Barry's
just
a
called
fucking
Barry.
Eternal. Barry's an Eternal, right?
Oh,
I forgot about that.
man.
Didn't he die though?
They'll
Maybe
resurrect
she could
him,
talk
and
about
then
how
she'll-
that was like her reckoning day when he died or something. I don't know. What was his name again? He was Sprite. No, he wasn't Sprite. Sprite was the little girl.
No, it was like Hamlock or something.
Hemlock. I don't think it was Hemlock, was it? It wasn't Icarus. It was like it started with a J, I think.
Druig.
Droog.
Druig.
Yes, I gotta watch that movie again.
Hemlock
Druig.
sounds
Druig.
cooler.
Druig. Hemlock was a good off-the-cuff shot.
It was something wooded related, you know, the druid
Yeah.
realm.
But I think when you get Dazzler, she'll mention Druig. That'll because you know how like so far Eternals has only been fucking Kingo posters in the background. That'll be the next time Eternals are mentioned is through a Dazzler
Druig
song.
broke the Dazzler's heart. Oh. And like it's funny because we've seen the
Can you believe Barry was in the MCU and then like
Yeah.
I just and then we're
fumbled
5
it.
years later. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago now. And like I didn't really know who that was too much, you know, at that time. Pre-Saltburn.
Pre-Saltburn, pre-Green Knight, was it?
It feels like some like around the same vein, but even Green Knight is a really minor role. I just love that character so much.
Rest your bones.
Yeah. Oh, I love that gif. Him just holding that giant axe. It's just
such a good gif.
fantastic. But I mean, just getting back to the Dazzler, it's interesting because like you've seen her in X-Men animated series. She's a great Marvel Snap card. I don't like fully understand what her power comes from or anything. Like I guess it's just mutant. So that's just what you tie it
Sonic
into.
waves, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's not too off kiltered.
It's pretty. Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anything else on these little rounding up of the Marvel rumors?
I think we can tuck the Marvel in for the night here. Yeah.
We're gonna tuck it in and get going on another ad break here, and then we're gonna jump into some trailers. So we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple trailers. Nothing too jam packed here. Honestly, pretty low tier of a trailer roundout for me. I don't know, just spilling my beans. What about you?
The beans, I'll pick those beans up and then regurgitate them because I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, just jumping right to it. Jurassic World Rebirth. Is this not like the weirdest trailer you've seen in a long time? I just thought the pacing of it, like the vibe is totally different than the other trailers. It was just fucking weird. I don't know if it's supposed to be it's like shorter, so I don't know if it's supposed to be like a TV spot thing, but I just thought it was really weirdly edited and just had a very strange vibe to it.
I don't think it showed me anything that I hadn't seen before on another trailer. And like, man, them in this like gas station, like running away from this one beastie. I'm pretty sure I've seen this like 1,000 times now, and I'm sure it'll still like be pretty intense in the theater with just like the big effects and stuff, and like just the intensity of the dinosaur creeping up on you. But like, man, they're really using that a lot, and even in the boat sequence with the Spinosaurs, like
they love that boat Spinosaurus sequence.
And like again, I'm sure it's gonna be maybe a really gripping scene I think I'm putting a lot of faith in this movie right now with with how I'm playing up these sequences. But yeah, it just didn't do anything for me, and I feel like I've been just getting. I don't even watch like TV to get like TV like channels and whatnot, but I just feel like everywhere I go, whether it's at like a restaurant or something, like they just got trailers for Jurassic World everywhere now, and then just what we've been watching lately in the theater, like I'm just getting so many of these. And I feel like my last Weekly Geek I was on with Taylor, we talked about a Jurassic World trailer also, and it like showed me these exact same scenes, just in different order. So they're definitely promoting.
What's your hype level
movie.
for this movie out of 10?
I mean, like 6 and 6.9. I'll say 6.69. Less than 7.
6.69. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess you can round up 6.7.
You could.
Or 6 3/4. If you really want to do that.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah,
Okay.
I think it'll be a good time, and it's like I've come a long way from being in like my Dominion Fallen Kingdom, where I'm like I'm so fucking done with Jurassic World. I hate these movies. Where like I don't know, it's new cast and it looks fun. I do like the characters that we're seeing. Like I don't think it's a bad trailer. It's just nothing new, right? So it's more annoying that I'm like sitting here watching this minute whatever trailer and I'm like waiting for something new to happen, and then it's like summer dinosaurs rule the world. It's like, okay guys, like fuck. So I think my annoyance level is bringing down the hype, which is the opposite effect maybe that you want to get from these promotion trailers. But what about you? Temperature check.
Oh yeah, extremely low. I mean, if I gotta watch this for Golden Geeks, I'll watch it. But otherwise, this one's. I mean, I haven't seen the last one. Maybe the last 2. I don't even know where the heck we are at this point in time. Since that fateful Dominion review cancellation, what was it called, or was it the movie before that? I don't even know anymore.
You just reminded me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out on this series for sure right now. So, yeah, I don't know. This trailer was just weirdly edited. I guess this trailer made me think that they were trying to make it more thriller, scary vibes, like they going back to the OG movie in some ways, but like the rest of the trailers make it seem like just kind of, blockbuster action movie. So I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit contrasting themes, and I felt like I was being lied to a little bit with this one. It didn't feel like it was a representation of what the actual movie is going to be like. Yeah. But I don't know what the heck's going on. It's just bizarre trailer.
I feel like some of like the other trailers though had that with like the D-Rex, and then they would show it like. Do you remember the D-Rex? The big fucking.
Is that the guy, the red guy?
Thing? Yeah. They like do a couple shots with him, and there's like a shot of them outside, like seeing him, and that just seems like very like classic like T-Rex scene from the original.
Sure, there's a little bit of that for sure. I think maybe the music in this felt a little more suspense driven or something. I don't know.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on. I almost said How to Train Your Dragon. I know what you did last summer, Dylan Muss. I don't know what you did.
That movie's
last
out now,
summer,
by the way, right? Dragon.
Yeah, it is. Go check out a review. Taylor and I dropped that. It was.
I will. I'm gonna put that on my watch later. Right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it. It was. It was a fun conversation.
Don't spoil it.
I mean, yeah. Live action remake. So not a lot new, but yeah.
Okay.
Minor spoiler.
You're teasing me.
Yeah, I'm teasing you. I'm just trying to entice you. But I know what you did last summer, Dylan Muss. I don't know what you did last summer, but have you ever seen this franchise or series?
No, and the last trailer was a complete dud in my opinion, and this one was as well. But the question I had with the last trailer was like, ooh, what did they do? But then this trailer kind of just tells you what they did, and then it's like, okay, so we're giving away that. So now you're just gonna, I guess the surprise is like who the killer is, I suppose. But yeah, this is a 0.5 for me on the hype level. So I think this one, if the streets are talking when it's coming out, if I see some hot letterbox scores, I might throw it on my list. But I think this movie's gonna come out. I'm gonna forget it came out, and I'll never think about it again. Probably would be my guess.
Yeah.
To be harsh.
Have you seen the original or no?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean. So what they did last summer, they showed in this trailer. It's like the exact same thing that happened in the original film, which I've seen once, and I watched it on like the movie channel or something with commercials. So it was one of those viewings, and I just feel like it's kind of a lesser version of like Scream or like those other slashers. Like that's just how I always saw it. It's like an interesting initial concept. I feel like the first Scary Movie, like the parody, like does like a lot of the I Know What You Did Last Summer jokes. So like when I think of I Know What You Did Last Summer, I like specifically think about the Scary Movie skits. So it gets some random bonus points for that. But yeah, it's just an interesting setup of like these friends, you know, they're partying, drunk driving, hit someone. Oh, we're not gonna tell anyone, and then we're not going to tell anyone. And then, of course, somebody finds out they know what they did last summer and then comes back to fuck people up. And that's the first movie. And they even have, like, Jennifer Love Hewitt going to be coming back.
Right.
Fred from Scooby-Doo live action. I never know that guy, that actor's name, so I apologize. Okay. But he's back. He was in the original. So some fun callbacks there. So I didn't see the last trailer either. So I think at the start of this trailer, I was getting interested on like, oh, are they going to change it up? And then it's like, oh, no, they're just going to be doing a complete remake. And they're like bringing back some legacy characters. But like, I have no attachment to that franchise whatsoever. So this is going to be a big 0 out of 10, I think, on the hype for me for wanting to watch this. And even if there's buzz, I don't think I'll watch it. I think there's just too much other good content to go view. There's plenty. I'm back on Crunchyroll again. That's like millions of hours of anime I want to watch.
Don't forget about your 94s, okay? I know you're on Crunchyroll, but
I'll splice a 94 in between. Between an episode of Attack on Titan. Let's do that. And then that's 2 back-to-back duds. But what wasn't a dud in my mind is and I don't even remember what the title of this is.
The Naked Gun.
Yeah, the Naked Gun. I mean, yeah, what more is there to be said? I saw the first trailer for this in theaters. I can't remember what movie it was, but it had me like belly laughing, like truly belly laughing. I think I was just so shocked because that trailer opened up with the bank sequence and just the little girl comes in, mask rip off. It's Liam Neeson. I want your ass, or whatever he says to the guy, and I don't know. I especially like we did our top secret watch like after 9 watch commentary with our patrons recently, and I feel like I've just been like wanting like more of those like parody satirical, like just so goofy, pretty much like Monty Python level like humor content, and like just the timing of it was like perfect because then I saw the first trailer for this and it just looks so ridiculous. And yeah, this looks so fun. I'm away when this drops, which makes me really sad because this would be a really, really fun viewing and review, I'm sure, with the lads. So I'm bitter. I'm missing it, but I think this is going to be a hell of a fun time. Just I think like 80+% of the jokes in the trailer just had me like cracking up. And I mean, if the trailer's doing that, I'm sure if we eventually see it in the theaters, especially if you're like with friends, like I'm sure that environment is just going to be a fun time. And Liam Neeson too, like it's just funny how he's like he was the Taken guy for like 19 movies or however long that went, and he just it seemed like that was like Liam Neeson for a while, and this just almost feels like a parody of that character also.
Sure.
Of course it's of course like the tie with like him being Leslie Nielsen. I don't know how to say his last name, but rest in peace him. The original Fred from I think they were called Naked Gun, like that series. This is like a legacy sequel or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. This looks really, really fun, and good time. And I am thumbs up on this trailer. I thought it was fun.
Nice, love that. Yeah, I gotta say, the first trailer I loved, and then this one didn't do as much for me. Like the humor was not hitting. So I don't know. I think this is for me gonna be a happily streamed viewing. Get a couple beers in me. I'm sure I'll have some good belly laughs, good chuckles in there. But yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, the humor in this trailer didn't hit. And I think I was maybe, not that my expectations were too high or anything, but I saw people in the Discord today chatting up this trailer, really enjoying it. And so I guess I was expecting another banger. And then it was, I mean, the jokes I enjoyed in this one were the same ones that I enjoyed in the last trailer. And then the new ones just didn't really do much for me, unfortunately. But I'm still open to it because I think it seems like a fun concept. And yeah, you're right. Like we don't get enough of these kinds of things these days, I think.
Yeah.
That are quality at least. So this should be a good time.
Yeah. There's definitely like an era like in the scary movie realms and like the epic movies and just like Vampire Sucks and quality was never there, but it it was just like a lot of like same era of those movies coming out. It felt so. This one's kind of a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Yep.
Any other trailers that I did not talk about?
I think that's every trailer that exists.
That I think so. I think we got every trailer that exists. Anything else you want to mention?
Well,
actually, I forgot to mention my name. Crazy Contraption. Yeah.
Oh.
That was in the I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer. There's a sequence when one character, there's like a random cage that comes down.
Oh, yes.
On a character. And it reminded me of the great board game Mousetrap, which I don't think I ever played properly, but I just love setting up that game and then setting up the Mousetrap. So shouts out to the Crazy Contraption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the commercial that they had on YTV or whatever.
Oh, yeah. A classic. The box art for that game
that crazy?
Is insane.
Isn't that crazy? They used to just have like commercials for board games, like Perfection. That was a big one. That was an anxiety-inducing game.
I miss ads for kids channels. I feel like that was the good stuff. You actually seeing like fun things instead of just like all these fucking therapy ads I'm getting. I'm fine. I don't need this.
Talk to someone today.
That's showing my algorithm off for sure. But these therapy ads are getting crazy. I gotta say, like they've evolved over the last few years. They're getting absolutely cracked.
They just hypnotize you in the ad itself.
It's just it seems very like manipulative for what is like. I feel like therapy should be like clean and fun and not manipulative, but what do I know? I'm just a guy.
It's like pharmaceutical ads in the States or something. There's money incentives on it.
Right. Yeah. Well, we do have a Patreon question.
Yes.
Yes. You want me to bring that one up here?
I completely forgot about that, so thank you for bringing that up. I apologize. Patreon Clay, Cocktail Clay.
Hey, we didn't forget it.
That's true.
Yeah,
We're still
Clay
running.
asks my Patreon question for tonight's newscast. I love this question, by the way. We don't get questions like this ever, and so I love it. Ask more things like this, because as I just mentioned, I don't go to therapy. I'm very well adjusted, and so I can answer. I can give you good life advice. Been struggling to get my friends to go to movies with me the last couple months. Any good strategies, tricks, trades for getting people to come out to the theater? I mean, we were just talking about Mousetrap. I feel like, set up a little Mousetrap thing, a little crazy contraption, and trick them. I think this is I love this question, but I also feel like it's a really hard one to answer. I mean, without the context of who your friends are and what they're like, it's hard to say. But I think, we gotta go to the core of the problem here. We gotta diagnose what exactly is the reason they don't want to go to the movies. Is it a price thing? Because I know the movies are getting crazy these days. So maybe you could like try and push for like a cheap Tuesday, or I don't know what equivalent you have. I don't know if that's everywhere, but sometimes there's cheap movie days or there's like discount prices. Or if they're like, oh, they want the popcorn, but the popcorn's expensive, maybe you sneak some snacks in, that kind of thing. So maybe if the price is that could be a thing. Maybe it's like the movies, but I feel like Clay kind of sees most things. But maybe that's the issue, is like you just got to, ask your friends, what movie do you want to see? I'll go see that with you. And then maybe if you go see whatever movie they want to see, maybe they'll come see the one you want to see next time. That kind of thing. What else could it be? I mean, I don't know. I think for a lot of people, because movie, it's a classic like first date kind of thing, but it also is like, well, it's not a great first date because you don't like get to talk a whole lot. You don't get to know each other, which may be a good thing if you're an awkward person. But maybe your friends want that, so maybe you have to make it more of an event. Make it like, hey, let's go for dinner, drinks, and then like the movie afterwards or something like that. I feel like that could be another idea there. But I also wonder, Clay, because I know you do see a lot of movies. Do you ever see movies alone? Do you have like a fear of going to the movies alone? Because I do that a lot these days, and I'm not gonna lie, I quite like it. It's nice. I enjoy it. I do also like going with friends. I'm not that antisocial, but I don't know if that's part of it for you. Obviously, it is fun to go with friends, but don't be afraid to go on your own sometimes too. I think that's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, yeah. It took me a long time to go to a movie alone for the first time, and I'm pretty sure the first time I did, like, I think Shay was like sick or something, so I had to like cancel her ticket. It was actually Top Gun Maverick, which I absolutely love that movie. So it was just such a crazy like solo experience. But and then of course go check out my famous September 5 review, because that was a solo movie mystery adventure. Seeing the movies on your own, it's a fun time. Sometimes it depends, I think, on the film. Big time. Like I wouldn't go see a horror movie alone. I don't think. I think I'd be a little bit frightened of that, but.
Okay.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, this is a fantastic question. It might be like a part 2 question too, because of course, as you just listed out, like I think we do need a little bit of context there in the sense of like, do they just not see movies like at all? Like, do they just not watch films?
A lot of people just watch things streaming these days, so
Yep.
you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. TikTok era, people need their like 5-second videos and like they just don't have the attention span of that. Is that the problem, Clay? But I mean, movies are interesting because there's obviously pretty much like just so many different flavors of films that we can have, different genres. Are your friends like big sports fans? So are they like interested in maybe a more sports oriented movies, which I feel like we haven't had specifically like a sports movie that I can think of lately. Of course, we have the famous F1 movie coming out at the end of the month, who I know Clay is super excited for. So maybe, I mean, just amp up the thrill factor of how much fun
you got the
it's
one with The
gonna
Rock coming up
as
a wrestler or boxer, whatever he's doing. That could be one for the sports.
Boxing wrestler, yeah.
The A24 one, yeah.
I don't even remember that at all.
I forget what it's called.
I probably won't see it. So if Clay asks me, I probably won't go to see that one. But no, I think
that's another thing, Clay. If you come to Vancouver, I will go see a movie with you. So there you go. And you can pick September 5. A24 Rock movie. I'll see it. Let's do it.
See, Clay needs more friends like you. There you go. Go see anything. But no, I think it's a big thing though, because I do have friends that just don't watch TV. They just don't watch movies, and like they stay busy doing other things. There's many things to do to keep you occupied, but no, I think what you mentioned, Dylan, of like tying it into just like a hangout festive thing. That was a weird way to say that, but like, I don't know, go get drinks, dinner, or whatever, and then tie it into that. Because like if it's Saturday night, people have been working all week. It's like, what am I gonna do tonight? Well, come watch this 3-hour war drama with me. Like what movies are you picking, Clay? I think it's a big factor to it. But definitely, I think the key is to get like you got to know who you're pitching, and like if I'm pitching a Tom Cruise movie to Shay, I know no matter what I say to her, she's gonna say no.
It's a losing battle.
Yeah, exactly. She hates Tom Cruise, not a fan. So it's like, but if How to Train Your Dragon, live action remake, her favorite movie of all time, comes out on her birthday, it's a pretty easy sell. I don't even have to pitch it. She's the one that pitched it to me.
Sell.
Yeah. So again, you got to know. I think you're. I almost said victim. That sounds extreme, but your target maybe.
Yeah, we got to develop a psychological profile for
Yeah.
each of your friends, and then go from there.
Yeah, but and then again, and then like terms of strategy, like I think if you're offering to pay, like I think that's a big factor. But I mean, if you're at that level where you have to pay for your friends, I mean, I guess I do that too. So I can't really judge that by any means. But yeah, definitely, I don't know your audience and follow up though. I do want to get some context from you. Maybe next after 9, if you're there, you'll have to fill us in on maybe these maybe what we just pitched works, and he's just has friends to go to the movies with. But yeah. There should be like a Tinder or equivalent for just going to see movies. Like,
I mean, I think that's what Tinder is. Right?
I'm sure there'll be a lot of weirdos on. Yeah, but it's like no romantic evening plans.
So he's like, I don't want to get to know you. I just
movie.
want to see movies with you.
We'll talk
and you have
in
to
the
buy your
line
own
to get
ticket.
concession. Yeah, we'll talk before previews. As soon as preview starts, we're not talking, and then we'll go our own way afterwards.
You got to buy your own ticket. We're gonna go see a 3-hour war drama on a Saturday night.
I don't even know
We're
why
not sneaking in
picked
food
that,
because I don't
but
want to
yeah.
break the rules. Just make it the least appetizing experience ever.
Yeah, absolutely. But thanks so much for your question, Cocktail Clay. We appreciate you. And with that, we're going to round this episode out. So thank you, Dylan, for joining me this week. This was fun.
Thank you.
Conversation. Yeah, we had good
Super
discussions in there. Filled you in on the lore of Sabrina Carpenter and Barry, so that was
I
interesting.
feel like I have much more to learn. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's your YouTube algorithms now. It'll be like
Oh
just
yeah.
TMZ,
Now that we've talked about it.
who yeah. your phone's listening. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. So we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.